I got, don't mind me. I got steak. I've never gotten steak before. I always get chicken. But they didn't have like chicken. I was like, whatever, I'll just get steak. And I got black beans, corn, cheese, lettuce, sour cream, guacamole, literally like everything on the menu.
Why did we literally get almost the same thing? I got a bowl as well. Mine's with barbacoa, veggies, rice, brown rice, cheese, and lettuce and sour cream. Oh, and we also got,
of course,
part. So good, guys.
Are we starting off with the main tea?
Which is?
Lil Peep.
So for those of you who don't know, Vivian and I am a big fan of Lil Peep. And Lil Peep came November 14th.
It was that long ago?
It was that long ago, sister.
Oh my god.
He came November 14th to El Paso. But before that, should we give him the whole rundown of the day? Because that day was an event. Remember, I got locked out of my house and shit, and you had to drive me all the way.
I was thinking about that this morning.
Back to the story. So months before I knew he was coming, I was like, you know what, I want to go. And I asked like all my friends, so who wants to go with me? And so she told me like, yeah, I'm down to go. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So we left it at that. November, I think the 12th rolls around. And she's like, hey, are you still down to go? Honestly, I was kind of like, oh my god, do I really want to go? Because I don't know what was going on. I think school was wrapping up because it was already November. Or something was going on that it was just like, oh, should I even go? Should I even go? And I was like, you know what, do it, Sylvia. Like, if you hadn't bought your ticket, because she told me like, oh, I bought my ticket. If she hadn't bought her ticket, I would have probably been like, let's just skip it. Which I would have literally hated myself for. Like, I'm so glad I went, because I am a big Lil Peep fan, but I also value my mental stability. So I was like, you know what, like, let's do it. Let's go. She already bought her ticket. You're gonna have fun. So we decided to go, and it was November 14th. It was a Tuesday. I, at the time, was taking public transportation to get home. And when I was on my way home, literally the one day that I needed to get home because nobody was home, the one day I needed my keys, I left the lanyard in the bus. With all my keys, my pepper, my everything. Everything was in it. And I was waiting outside of my house for like hours. Well, not hours, like 2 hours.
Yeah, it was still long. Wait, no, and then she called me because like we live very close to each other. So
very
it's like
close to each other.
Extremely close. Which is funny, straight up and down. You said something first because you were like, oh, I got locked out of my house. Can do you, like whatever? Like it's fine. Like well, can I just hang out at your house and stuff? But I knew that she wanted to get ready, and I was like, no, like let me drive you to your aunt's workplace.
And my aunt worked far at the time. She worked really far. We get there to what we think is the right place because my aunt gave me the address. Yeah. What we think is the right place, we can't find it. She's like, you're gonna see big letters. These 3 letters. Let's say. You're gonna see the letters BAM, and they're gonna be big. And I was like, all right, like, so where's BAM? Where's BAM? And we couldn't see it. And we like drove around for what, 20 minutes?
I know, and we like got off, we asked people, we looked around, and then we found like the place. Because
it said BAM.
Yeah, and I was like, this is the place. And then we go inside, and then she asked for her aunt. She's like, oh, actually, she's in our second location, which is much farther from here. And we were like, huh? But in the end, yeah, like, well, she got her the car keys, the house keys, and then we like drove back. I dropped her off at home, and
we got ready so quickly. We got so ready. We got there about an hour and a half before doors actually opened because this is like a local venue. So we knew like, oh, she's not gonna get that packed. So we were like, okay, it's fine. Like we are not gonna be like in the back. We're gonna be in the front.
Yeah, we were. There was like 2 people in front of us.
Let me tell you my perspective first. The concert is amazing.
Go ahead.
My favorite song by Lil Peep is Star Shopping. And I heard Star Shopping twice. I heard it once on like the main stage, and then he came towards like where I was, because granted we were in the front, but there was also kind of like a little pedestal like right where we were. Lil Peep decided to get on it and started singing that song. Honey, it's like I was being serenaded by Lil Peep. Like, it was insane. I could not believe it. I was like shitting bricks. I was like, oh my god. I was like, oh Lord have mercy. And
the videos where like you were
no, I have a video. I'll also put that here. I have a video. We were so close to him, and he looked me dead in the eyes, and I thought he was looking at me like why are you filming me? Like, you're so close, like don't film me. And I felt like targeted. Yeah, like, because we were this close to each other. I was this close to Lil Peep. I know, and I was just like, I'm so sorry, and I just put my phone away. I pretended like I got a notification, for another reason. And I put my phone away and I was like, and I was like, oh my god. And dude, we were that close. So that night for me was incredible because I got to see him. Now, honey, on the other hand,
woo! I want to talk about like I didn't get to see Lil Peep, which was like fine because I didn't know him and I wasn't like a stan or anything. I was just like, okay, whatever. But I did get to see other people and it was pretty cool. Like that kind of style of music I never really like listened to, so it was actually pretty interesting. And like we were shook for a second because I remember his name. Like I actually liked him. Bexy was like opening.
oh my god!
And we were like, yeah. I had no idea what was happening.
He parted the crowd like Moses.
Yeah. And I thought he was gonna go in the middle and like start like dancing in the middle or something. And I was like, yeah, open it up.
We were literally telling people like, move out the way.
And then he was like, 3, 2, 1, and then so mosh pit.
The whole crowd, not just like the little girl, the whole crowd.
People could have died. Oh my god.
Oh my god, I probably spit every bubble. We were like this. We're like, oh my god.
And like random dudes like, what?
Sweaty guys.
Oh my. Okay. Well, either way, that was annoying because I was like we're gonna lose. We were very in front.
We thought we were gonna lose our spot.
And I was like, we're gonna lose it. And then no, in the end we like stared at ground and it was fine.
Yeah.
And then we listened to I remember Lil Peep taking a really long time to get out, and I don't know why. I don't know what was happening. But
the DJ said it was because he was sick. He was like, guys, please give him some time. He's really sick.
And so it was fine. And then so this girl was in front of us, and she kept. It was funny at first because like she was just there and she was having a really hard time texting her boo, and me being like the snoop that I am. I was like,
we were both being snoop.
Yeah, we were like because she was like, Olivia was like, are you okay? And then she was like, and
she made us text her husband.
Yeah, she's like, can you just text him and tell him that I love him? I don't know. It was like very stupid things, and then we were like,
okay. He was mad at her or some shit.
Yeah, I remember exactly what it says actually. Like,
spill the tea, sis.
She was, one of the singers was like rapping in front of her, and he held her hand, and she put on her story saying daddy, and then her
actual boyfriend
was like, why are you calling other dudes daddy? What the fuck?
Stupidest shit ever. Are you kidding?
And she was trying to text him back like, no, you're the only daddy. It was like really bad. But
they couldn't type.
Yeah, she could not type. And then she was there with her cousin. Okay? This is important. Her cousin, not a friend, not a stranger.
We didn't find this out till later though.
Her cousin. Okay. And then we were
is
like,
that a gun?
Yeah.
We're ending this mukbang.
We told the cousin like, hey, what's wrong with her? And she was like, this. I told her only to take one, but she popped 2 Xanax, and I was like, not in my Christian household, like no. It got really bad where she was like falling to the floor and stuff, and I was holding her up, and I was like, you know what? I told her I'll take her to the back. It's fine because I don't even like Lil Peep. Like I don't know who he is, so I was like, it doesn't matter to me that I'm not in the front. Like it doesn't matter. Like I don't mind. She was like, oh really? Yeah, okay. And I was like, yeah, you stay over here and I'll make sure she's fine.
And my ass was like, Vivian, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? But she was like, no, it's fine. And keep in mind, this is a small venue. So this was all like what? In a room probably as big as like your kitchen.
Yeah, in the living room.
Yeah. So we were here and they were like back there. So I was like, oh, it's gonna be fine. Like if something happens, she's gonna be right there. She can
have my phone. It's fine. So I took her to the back and it's fine. They have like a little porch. And I took her to the back in the porch and we're just sitting there, and she just kept forgetting things. She asked me the same 3 questions all night. She was like, where's my phone? Is Lil Peep out? Bars. Is Lil Peep already out? And like, can I have some water? Like that. And like, I don't know what's going on with this girl, but like, she was trying to jump off the porch and I was like, no. And yeah, and I just kept her like calm. And from there on, she was like, I want to go back inside. And I was like, no. And I kept telling her, Lil Peep is not even out. She's not even out. And then finally, she's like, okay, I want to go back inside. And I was like, fine. I take her back inside. And it's like, we're there. And I told her, see, Lil Peep isn't out yet. Let's go back to the porch. And she's like, no, I want to be in the front. I want to be in the front. And this is like, it's like packed. It's like sardines. And I'm like, you're like, first of all, you're high as like you're not gonna be able to go up to the front. And then she started fighting with me and she was like hitting me. She wasn't like punching me, or like she was just like pushing me and stuff. And I was like girl, I'm here to help you. She was like causing a scene, and the bouncer was like, all right, you gotta go. And then like there were stairs leading up to the venue, and I was like, fuck. So like I took her down the stairs with the bouncer, and she was crying. She was like, no, and she's like super high, and like she doesn't even know what's going on. And then they finally kick her out, and I go outside with her.
Bae also doesn't have her phone on her. Like she legit did not have her phone. She kept asking for it, but she didn't have it.
Oh yeah, I remember, because her cousin had it. Yeah.
And her cousin was right next to me the whole time.
Okay, so we go outside, and I was like, I'll stay. Like she wasn't allowed inside anymore. I was, but like I decided to stay there because like it's the streets and stuff, and I was worried like something was gonna happen with her. But it was annoying. I was like, this girl was crying her eyes out. She was really mad at me. She was like, she kept hitting me because I kept grabbing her arm, and because like she would want to walk towards the street, and I don't know what's going on, but like she felt very suicidal at that point. And the poor kid was like, I just want to end it all. You just want to jump off, and I was like, no, and I would be like, your cousin's here, like,
oh my god, can you imagine if like that bit like would have jumped?
No, that's why I kept like a hold of her the whole
and my
time.
girl is strong. She's a woman.
And then in the streets, like she's like, I just want to jump in front of a car and blah blah. And I was like, no, like no. And then like whatever. And so in the end, I text Sylvia, and was like, hey, like tell her cousin that she was kicked out. And then she was like, okay. And you told her? Yeah. And then like
I told the bit like, hey, your cousin was kicked out, my friend's outside with her, and she's like, oh, okay.
Like what? Yeah. And like I don't know, like if that was me, and like let's say like if I was kicked out and Sylvia was in there and someone was texting her, hey, Vivian was kicked out, like she would have come for me, and I would have done the same thing if it was vice versa.
I wanted to go just to go keep her company, and I kept telling her like, do you want me to go? And she's like, no,
I was like,
stay to see Lil Peep, stay to see Lil Peep.
Yeah, it was fine. Just like I just kept telling her, like, just get the cousin. The cousin would not come, and I was like, what? Like, you came here with her, you know she took 2 Xanax. So I was out there for a long while. Finally Lil Peep came out, and you could hear him, and this bitch starts crying so much. She was like, no,
Me.
She tries getting inside. Of course, the bodyguard's like, no, honey, like, bye.
Bye, sis.
And then she's like, and she gets like hysterical. It's like, what? And I tell her again, tell her to come get her friend because she's getting hysterical. And at this point, she already told me like she's my cousin, so like we knew.
Yeah.
And then I was like, what? Like, tell her to come get her cousin. And then I was like, lie to her, tell her that
the ambulance is here.
Yeah. And that's like big, like the police is coming, the ambulance is coming, and so, and like that still didn't like move. Like no, she was just like,
I told her, this is what I told her. I was like, hey, they're calling the ambulance, and she's like, why? And I'm like, she just passed out. She passed out in the middle of the street, and the bodyguards had to call an ambulance. And then I was like, I literally said she's foaming at the mouth. This bit did not move, honey. This bit did not move. She was like, tell her I'm getting videos of Lil Peep for her.
What the? Like, no, you did no.
First of all, what? What? Like how?
No.
She's being taken to the hospital in this like theory. She's being taken to the hospital, and you want to stay here and get videos of Lil Peep?
Yeah, no.
No. No. I mean, no. Not even I would do that.
By then we knew, like she wasn't coming anymore.
Yeah, we knew that bit was not going.
I was like, I don't want to stay here, and just outside for the rest of the concert. So I was like, I'm gonna call the cops. I'm actually gonna call the cops. But I didn't want to call them in front of the concert venue because I was afraid that they'll like raid it.
Oh.
Yeah, I was afraid because I don't know, because
called it a block away, literally.
Yeah.
Walked 2 steps.
Like what? No, I went pretty far. Well, no, it was literally a block, not that far. But I was like, as long that it's not right in front, because like I feel like shit would like it would go down. I feel like little people would scram. I don't know. So I walked in front of a hotel, and there was like a bench, a park bench. I just sat her down, and I called the cops, and I was like, there's this girl, she's like, oh, she was puking. She was puking and she puked on her hair, and I had to move her because
you can choke on her puke.
Yeah, you can choke on her puke, and it was gross because I got puke on me, and I was like, what the.
I didn't.
I got some, but I was like, eh. And I took a picture of her. I do have it. Give me a sec.
Oh, send it to me and I'll put it here.
Okay. I took a picture of her. Oh, sorry.
No, go.
And it was like
the homeless man came up to you and he was like,
yeah, this homeless man is like, hey, what up? Like, you got $1 to spare? And I was like, I'm having a crisis here. Like, leave me alone, homeless man. And he was like, oh shit, what's she on? And I was like,
this homeless man starts helping her.
Yeah. He was like, you gotta make sure you keep her on her side, and like she can choke. And he's like, is she okay? And I was like, yeah, we'll be fine.
Street knowledge.
Yeah. And in the end, I was like, thank you, man. And I gave him $5. I was like, thank you for your service.
Thank you for keeping me company.
Yeah. And I was like, all right, bye. And by this time, like, I called the cops. I was like, hey, there's this girl. I know she took 2 Xanax. She's barfing. She's puking. She's out here passed out on a bench. It took like, this is how long it took. It took until the concert ended and everyone was coming out, and then the police came, and I was like, okay. And I gave them all my information and it was fine. And by that time you came and the police was there, and then the cousin came, and this has the audacity to be like, oh my god, what happened?
Dead ass.
She didn't even acknowledge me.
Nothing.
Not
even a thank you.
Nothing. And I was like, all I said was like, I saw her and be like this fake ass bitch and like whatever. And then I just looked at the officer. I was like, is that all? And they were like, yes. And then we just left.
After it was all said and done, I had a wonderful time. I know she didn't, but you know what's the story?
Yeah, like I wasn't mad. Like yeah, I was not mad at all. I wasn't like, no, like because like I knew from the beginning, like it was my decision to take her out and stuff like that. To take her out, like.
The shotgun right there. You know you live in Texas when.
Yeah, like the only time I was truly annoyed was probably like when the cousin wouldn't come down. That's like the only thing that annoyed me. But other than that, like it was fine. And I even like told the girls like, I'll get you an Uber, it's fine. But she wouldn't tell me where she lived, like anything. So I was like, okay, whatever.
Good Samaritan.
I had an experience. And I think I did like all the right things, so I was like, okay.
Yeah, and she's also like CPR qualified. Like my girl's a lifeguard. My girl is, what are you? You're official by like Parks and Rec and shit.
Yeah.
Like she knows. She knows.
I know, babe.
She knows how to resuscitate people and shit. Like,
So I was ready.
She was ready for some shit. She was ready to kiss her throw up.
I was. Oh. I would.
Ew. Anywho, the night itself was amazing. Now let's get into like the deep dark shit. Which was November 15th. For those of you who don't know, basically to recap, we saw Lil Peep. This all happened November 14th, 2017. He passed November 15th, 2017. So we basically got to see his last concert. We were his last concert.
Yeah, we were.
We were his last concert. The last concert he ever got to perform. And I remember, oh my god, I remember so vividly what like the night. Oh, I lost it.
I could not. Like even me, like which makes you put things in perspective, like the impact you have, because like I never knew him. I just went because she wanted to go, and I was just like, okay, I'll go. And like I found out first. I remember I was in bed. It was November 15th at night. I was in bed and I was like looking through Twitter. And like all these like YouTubers I follow, and yeah.
Was it Elijah Daniel?
I think it was Elijah.
One of the very first ones.
Yeah, he was like such a talented rapper and a person and very sweet man and whatever. And I was like, who is he talking about? And then he said Lil Peep, like R.I.P. Lil Peep. And I was like, what? I was very confused at first.
It wasn't even 24 hours since the concert.
Yeah, I was like LOL, like what you mean? I just saw him yesterday, like, you know? Yeah, I know. And I was like, what? And then I like Google it. Nothing was confirmed, so I was like, I couldn't tell if it was real or not. And then I started looking at other YouTubers, like other artists, like big artists. And once I saw like Marshmallow or Diplo, so like one of the
Marshmallow.
Yeah, he was like RP, and I was like, holy shit. And then in that second, I thought like Sylvia already knew. And then like I called her and I was like, Sylvia.
I didn't know. This is the reason why I didn't know. My house was flooded. Remember? My house was like flooded. Like there was my house was flooded basically. Yeah. That's why I didn't know. And usually I'm on Twitter like 24/7.
Yeah, so I was like, Sylvia, did you hear the news? And she was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? And I was like, Lil Peep died. And then she was like no.
I like, yeah.
Yeah, she was like, no, like you're lying. Like, I was like, it's not confirmed officially, but like a lot of big artists have said something about it.
And it just felt like the world around me was like, because I was like thinking, like literally thinking, like we just saw him, like I saw him yesterday, like no. And it was so crazy because I was just telling everybody that day, I was like, oh my god, I saw Lil Peep last night, because everybody knew how much I liked him.
Yeah, it was extremely shocking, and like I could only imagine like how it hit you, because for me it was like extremely shocking. I was like, oh my god, like I was shook. Like I was like, this is someone, actually I didn't even get to see him, but like he was there. I know that he was there, and like he spent his like last moments here in El Paso, and like I don't know, like that was very strange for like, it was very strange for me, since like I literally did not know who he was until like that night, and like I was a part of his like last moments, which was like it's very weird. I don't know.
So it was just really disheartening at the time, and it made a really sweet moment almost bitter, if that makes sense. Like, not to be like, yeah, you know, but at the time I was just kind of like, now I cherish it. Now I'm like thankful that I got to go and see him in general, but like to see his last show, like crap.
And then that really made me like think about when I was taking care of the girl. She was crying because she couldn't go up and see him, and I kept telling her, don't worry, he's gonna get bigger, like he's so famous, like he's gonna get way bigger, and like you're gonna get to see him, because she was telling me how she's gonna move in California, and then I was like, you're gonna get to see him in California, and like it's fine, and like the next day like he passes, and I was like oh like, yeah. Like I can imagine like the girl, like what she felt, like being kicked out,
not getting to see him for her own stupid reasons.
Yeah.
Like, now that I look back on it, I'm like, I'm thankful that I got to see him. I'm thankful that I got to hear my favorite songs, and especially my favorite one twice. Like, and I'm thankful that you took me, because everything was kind of going against us that day.
Yeah, it was really weird. I didn't think about it now, like until you say it now. Like, wow, like shit happened that day.
Oh, and so many people turned it into like a story of like a lesson, basically.
Yeah, I did not like that. I was like,
hated that.
Like turning into a lesson of like, oh, this is what happens when you do drugs. You know, like I was like don't no.
Like a person just died.
Like literally, like yeah, like it happened so soon. Like all of that happened so soon. Like a person literally died. And, like, can you imagine like your mom seeing all that shit? Like, oh, well, this is what happens.
Yeah,
this is what he gets. Like no.
And as far as I know, he used it as like a coping mechanism, which I can't relate to. I don't do drugs, but coping mechanisms, we all have them. We all use them. Some people use different things.
I got so full.
Some people use different things to cope, and I'm not trying to say like what he did was okay, but he did what he had to do to survive.
Yeah.
And that shit was laced, as far as I know.
That's what the story. That's what like that. It was late. I don't know how he got that. Some girls gave it to him. Something like that. I don't know the story.
We don't. Obviously, this is what we hear on the internet. Yeah. We're not saying like this is completely.
This is what happened. Like,
this is what happened. This is as far as we know.
Yeah. If anyone knows.
If there's corrections out there, if you know something we don't, I didn't look into it that much afterwards. Honestly, I just knew he died this way, as far as I know, and I was like, that's it. I'm not gonna look into it anymore, because I don't want to, and I can't. So if somebody has corrections out there, correct us, let us know down below the true story.
So.
Oh yeah, one thing I did want to say was that what affected me the most is like, this is the first artist that I've had that I've really, really liked that passed.
Oh.
Like and he's been the only artist.
Okay, I did think about that a lot when he passed away. Like I couldn't imagine like what you must be feeling now, like having an artist like pass away.
Completely gone,
and like how that must feel like, because like none of my favorite artists have like passed away, thank God, but like I don't like, I just kept imagining like, I wonder like if Ezra like died or something from like Vampire Weekend, I would be like,
it's so suddenly too.
Yeah, like I don't think I would.
And in these circumstances, like this is like 1 in a million.
Yeah, like I see him, like I tried putting myself in those shoes, like me seeing him and like being close to him and be like, oh my god, oh my god. And then like going home and then you calling me and being like, oh, By the way.
Yeah. But I thought like once my favorite artist was passed, or
you
like,
would have been already like at that point.
Yeah.
Like, you also are gonna pass away.
Like I felt like my kids were gonna tell me like, oh, did you hear like, oh, Lil Peep passed when I was like 70, and I was like, oh, you know what? Yeah, I went to go see him when I was 18.
Yeah.
Like, darn, that was a good concert. Shit, not to like turn it completely, but leave a comment down below like what your favorite Lil Peep song is. If you knew Lil Peep before he passed or after he passed.
Or after, yeah. Like how it's like to find an artist and like to realize like that he doesn't make like he can't make new music, because I feel like that also is like a very different experience to be a fan of something that like you know that there won't be new.
Yeah, like this is it.
Like this is it.
I think we've covered everything basically. Yes. Thank you guys for watching this mukbang. I don't know how much of it was a mukbang, honestly.
I know.
It was story time mukbang.
We didn't even eat it fast.
Yeah,
we just talked a lot.
Story time mukbang. Hopefully this was enjoyable. Hopefully not everybody was grossed out. But yeah, leave your thoughts down below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye.
See ya.